Good morning. What happened? The day seems it's not good. Very low. Why there is no response, Krishna? Where are
गुड
you?
मॉर्निंग मैम। मैंने तो सबसे पहले आपको बोला आपको।
I replied you, Krishna.
गुड मॉर्निंग मैम।
Good morning, Krishna. Um, okay. So before starting with the lecture, let's first concentrate on the homework which I had assigned to you. Who has done it? Who hasn't done it? Is he a student from of your class? Is he a student of your class?
जी मैम।
This is Binod Khatri. Okay, so I've just denied his entry. Okay. Yes, who has done homework? Start presenting. Who is presenting? Naman, the homework isn't done. Utkarsh Bansal, Utkarsh Bansal,
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Samreet, he left. Okay, well, that is what he did. That he came as Devansh Garg, and he got entry into it. Now he can let him come. No, I no problem. Let him come. Let him enjoy whatever he wants to. Hanji, Krishna, Mustan, Samreet, Tisha, Utkarsh. Who has done homework?
Yes, ma'am, I have done.
Thank you, Samreet. At least out of this is such was an interesting homework. Then also you did not do it. Hanji, Samreet, present karo. Samreet, you are presenting, beta.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, is it visible? Ma'am,
Hanji, wait. Now this is who is this Kavya Zaru? Any student of your class? Kavya Vars.
नहीं मैम।
हाँ, Varchandani is there. Now this is something Zaru. Anyways, Kali Baba. So, so what should I do? ये लिंक जाता कैसे है बाहर? हम में से ही कोई भेजता है बाहर लिंक?
हम में
जेठालाल
से ही कोई होता होगा। मस्ती कर रहा है।
बेटा हम सब इतने बड़े हो गए हैं बताओ यू लाइक जेठालाल गड़ा इन योर क्लास
मैम
इतने
आपकी
बड़े हम
क्लास में
दो
पहली बार हो रहा है मैम, बाकी तो होता रहता है ये अकाउंट्स में और
आई
इको में।
आई विल नॉट बट मेरी क्लास में कभी नहीं हुआ एंड आई नो
हाँ
ऑल
मैम
ऑफ यू
बिल्कुल मैम।
yesterday the class was going on in front of when Kartika ma'am was taking the class I was like everyone on camera in Kartika ma'am's class I have never asked you people to on the camera जिस दिन मुझे कैमरा ऑन कराना है बट दैट्स रॉन्ग ऑल्सो अब मैं कल डिबेट नहीं होने दूंगी जब तक तुम्हारा एटलीस्ट इशिका इज इट इशिका
क्या मैम?
शर्मा ओके मैं कल डिबेट नहीं होने दूंगी जब तक तुम्हारा कैमराज नहीं होना ऑन होगा तो इसलिए पहले ही प्लीज प्रिपेयर होकर बैठना टेक योर शावर एंड ऑल
मैम कैसे होगा, मतलब हमारा उनकी क्लास के साथ होगा या फिर अपनी क्लास में ही?
वो अभी तक मैंने कुछ डिसाइड नहीं हाँ वैसा ही होगा और क्योंकि मुझे आई विल हैव टू अरेंज द टाइम टेबल बाकियों को आई विल हैव टू ask someone for their period सो लेट्स सी, अभी मैंने किसी से बात नहीं की, बट आई विश, क्योंकि ये 6-7 बच्चों में तो डिबेट अच्छा नहीं रहेगा, आई मोस्ट प्रोबेबली क्लब इट. ओके, सो यस समरीत, वेयर आर यू प्रेजेंटिंग बेटा?
Yes, ma'am, I'm presenting. Ma'am, is it visible?
Samrit, I have not been able, I'm not able to see any of your presentation till now.
Ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, start karo Samrit. Not a problem. Start karo. Yeah.
Ma'am, should I explain it or?
Yes, yes, Samrit. Explain it.
Ma'am,
What is the total? What was?
okay.
What is? What is the total revenue of the railway undertaking, Samrit? Samrit,
Yes, ma'am.
Samrit, what is the total revenue of the railway undertaking?
Ma'am, it is 25 billion according to me.
Which year data?
2020.
Okay, and how much was allocated to the railways in this budget 2021? Samrit? Samrit, have you stopped presenting?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened?
Ma'am, I haven't done that budget allocation, ma'am.
What is your research work? Just share it. Just read it out.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the total expenditure of Indian Railway at the end of the fiscal year 2020 was around 1.7 trillion Indian rupees. The system was estimated to decrease to over 1.5 trillion rupees in the following year. The system is operated by the Ministry of Railways and is the fourth largest railway network across the globe. And with more than 1.5 million employees, Indian Railway was the seventh largest employer in the world. Indian Railways earned around 25 billion Indian rupees in the financial year 2020.
जाने
The
मेरी
Minister
जाने
of
मन बचपन का प्यार मेरा भूल नहीं जाना रे चस्सा मेरा प्यार है जान तुझे किया है बचपन
I tried to remove him. See, students, you're all very big enough, mature enough now. You're all in 11th grade. Within few years, you're all going to go to the college. Just 2
जो
years
लोग
more.
कभी अटेंड नहीं करते ना वो लोग करते हैं ये सब.
But why do you have to pass the link? Or do
मैं हम
you
लोग
want
नहीं
to?
करते, हमारी क्लास में जो लोग अटेंड नहीं करते हैं ना वो लोग,
अब बैठ के गाना
हमारी
सुनो
क्लास के
बच्चा
काफी बच्चे अटेंड नहीं करते क्लास.
because the reason is because they are still thinking कि स्कूल नहीं खुलेंगे हमारा चीटिंग करके हो जाएगा. अरे it's something called concepts as well. concepts ही कभी क्लियर नहीं होंगे. generations निकलेंगी देखना नलायकों की जिनको कुछ पढ़ना ही नहीं है, बचपन का प्यार लगाना है. I've never heard these stupid songs. Okay, Samrit, continue.
सोनू मेरी
look.
डार्लिंग जाने मेरी जाने मन बचपन का प्यार मेरा भूल नहीं जाना रे चस्सा मेरा प्यार है जान मेरी जाने मन बचपन का प्यार मेरा भूल नहीं
Okay. Can he play again when I have muted him?
जाने मेरी जाने मन बचपन का प्यार मेरा भूल नहीं जाना रे
I'm just calling up straight Harsar now. He's going to look into the matter now. He'll come in the group and he will do it. And if he does it again, students, I'm going to cancel this meet. And I'm going to make a different group with only the students who join my class. I'll send the group in a different, if it happens ever again. I will not accept all this nonsense. Neither I have talked anything nonsense in my class. I go point to point. If it is 45, if you all notice, मैं हमेशा क्या करती हूँ? It's 11:45. I'll say I'll start the class in 45. और अगर 2 मिनट कभी लेट होती हूँ, I always communicate to the students कि मैं 2 मिनट में class start कर रही हूँ. I have certain rules and principles, and I wish you all follow those also. We all listen to songs, but there is a time. हमारा अपना me time होता है. हम अपने room में बैठ के you can dance, you can sing songs. But this is not the way you do it in the classes. Sorry, Samrit, everyone submit your work. I'll just start. And अगर दोबारा हुआ, I'll cancel the class then. ठीक है? Okay. So yesterday we were talking about departmental undertakings, and departmental undertakings are those undertakings. Yes, Tisha Gomber, you were there in my class yesterday. What are departmental undertakings? Yes, Tisha? Yes, Utkarsh Bansal. Utkarsh?
Yes, ma'am.
Hanji, departmental undertakings. What are departmental undertakings?
Ma'am, actually, if you remember, it's my 4th class, so I don't know.
उत्कर्ष मैं सिर्फ वही पूछ रही हूँ बेटा जो कल पढ़ाया गया था. आप कल क्लास में थे. मैं पुराना कुछ नहीं पूछ रही बेटा. उत्कर्ष सिर्फ based on yesterday's lecture, departmental undertakings are those undertakings which work under the ministry of the government. Like we have the railway minister. Who is the railway minister presently? Samrit, who is the railway minister? See, students.
अश्विन
Hanji,
विष्णु.
Ma'am, Piyush Goyal.
Can someone check it? 2021. Who is Piyush Goyal is changed?
Ma'am.
I think.
मैम अश्विन विष्णु.
Yes, Piyush Goyal was earlier.
Ashwin Vaishnav.
हाँ, सर समरीत आपकी रिसर्च थोड़ी सी गलत है. प्लीज चेक इट अगेन. ओके.
Okay, ma'am.
When I leave, let him enjoy that. It's not easy.
मैम उसकी प्रोफाइल लग गई.
चलो ठीक है. अगर it is Bhavya Patil now. Okay, we did this. Okay, now we are going to take up the second topic. Please उत्तर revise करो side by side. तभी आपके concepts clear होंगे. नहीं तो you will be in a big trap if the school opens. And पक्का final exam school में ही होने वाले हैं. लिखवा लो. जैसे situation is improving.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now, public corporations are also called statutory corporations. What do you mean by statute? If you see the word statute, it is a written law passed by the legislature.
मम्मी बोले मत कर, पापा बोले मत कर, आंटी बोले मत कर. पता है मैंने क्या बोला? चरस गांजा मेरे को प्यारा, चरस गांजा मेरे को प्यारा. दोस्त बोला मुझको चाहिए.
He left, but I'm calling up her sir now. I cannot bear this. Good morning, sir. Hi, sir. I have a problem in my class. There is someone joining in and playing continuously songs, sir. How can I avoid it, sir? Sir, 11th Chanakya, sir. Google Meet, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. I think when I start speaking, then only from tomorrow it's Zoom class, everyone. Because sir is saying that we have control over it. So it's tomorrow. अगर अब हुआ तो हम cancel कर देंगे class and I want everyone to read this topic. Okay. Statutes are basically the laws which are passed by the parliament, by the legislative assemblies of the state or by the parliaments. If you see the pictures here, there is a proper Reserve Bank of India Act 1932. Like we have the Constitution, like we have the IPC, Indian Penal Code, Criminal Procedure Code, जैसे Domestic Violence Act, POCSO का Act है, जैसे सब acts बने हुए in the similar manner these statutory corporations have been created by making a law, by making an enactment. I hope I'm clear enough.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. And even in Life Insurance Corporation of India, we have the Life Insurance Corporation Act. The entire act has been made by the Parliament. The act was passed in 1956. National Highway Authority of India, 1956. It is again a bare act. A law has been passed. National Waterways Act 2016. Now, these are just the example, and we are coming with the feature. State Bank of India, it's an independent body which has been, like in the departmental undertakings, the department as well as the government, they're considered one and the same entity. But in statutory corporations, the main point of difference between both of them is here they are separate legal entities from the government. Now the first feature to remember here is it is an act. Let's take an RBI Act. Now, RBI is a separate act which has been created by the Parliament. Now that they both are separate legal entities. Now, what happens when there are two different bodies which are created? That means whatever the powers are there, whatever the responsibilities are there, what objectives are there of RBI, they are all laid down in the act. Government will not tell them every time that what are their powers. Whatever powers, whatever functions they have to do, they are already mentioned in the act. I hope I'm clear, everyone.
Yes,
Although
ma'am.
this operates under the total control of the central and the state governments. Whichever government has created this act, they are answerable to that. In case we say RBI, although it works as an independent body, its powers, rules, and regulations all are laid down. कितने employees हैं, कितने employees को salaries मिलनी, everything is mentioned in the act. What powers they can enjoy, कितनी powers को वो limitations उनके ऊपर क्या है, everything is mentioned in the act. But then also the main control is of the central of the state government, right? Now, who operates these? आरबीआई ऑपरेट कौन करता है, या एलआईसी ऑपरेट कौन करता है, स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया ऑपरेट कौन करता है. सो देर आर बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स हु आर नॉमिनेटेड बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया nominates the board of directors who manages the entire affairs of RBI or State Bank of India or LIC or whichever statutory corporation we are talking. Is it clear, everyone? So when it is an independent body, it works free from the political interference. Government cannot interfere into its matters every now and then. It works as completely an independent body. Now just have a look. Let's take up the parliament, state legislature, and it comes into existence immediately when the act is passed by the parliament. You know how the act is passed in the parliament? Whenever someone wants to an act, it is presented in the parliament. Then every clause, every section is discussed in the parliament. Then what happens? Then every clause is passed. हर clause पे voting होती है कि हाँ this clause is passed, and then it has to be passed by 2/3 majority of the Lok Sabha. Then it moves to Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha pass करती है. Then it goes to the president assent, and president जब final उसके ऊपर अपना assent देता है, the law comes into, law is enacted, the act is passed. Clear everyone? I hope you know this. आपने पढ़ा हुआ है civics में शायद. Eighth, ninth
Yes,
में you
ma'am.
might have read any law act which has to be passed, it is laid in one of the houses first. जब एक house में pass हो जाता है, फिर दूसरे house में जाता है, and then it goes for president itself. और अगर by chance दूसरा house उसको कोई भी clause पे उसके अपने recommendations देता है, तो it goes to the first house again, फिर बहस होती है, फिर उसके ऊपर they bring about the changes, या they deny the changes, then it goes to the again the first, second house, फिर president assent. All the powers, responsibilities, duties, objectives, limitations, rules and regulations all are laid down in the Act. It operates central of the state government, managed by the board of directors. The employees, who are going to be the employees, उनकी employment appointment का तरीका, उनको कितने salaries देनी है, remuneration कितनी देनी है, they are all laid down in the Act. No minister is involved here. So it doesn't work under the any ministry. You do not listen to RBI की कोई ministry है या SEBI की कोई ministry है. SEBI is also a public corporation or a statutory body. And here even for these, the main motive is to serve the general public. They have been made answerable and accountable because they have to submit their annual report to the parliament every financial year. The accounts are generally, who prepares these accounts? They are prepared by Comptroller and Auditor General of India. So he is also a government employee. Clear? Now see, what happens when you think of these features in mind? Tell me, what merits you will think of? What merits you will think of and what demerits you will think of? अगर एक independent body है, तो what is the merit?
मैम हर बार हर चीज की परमिशन नहीं लेनी पड़ेगी, वो अपने
One by
हिसाब से
one.
काम कर सकते हैं.
So it is, I can say, they have the freedom to work. That is, they have autonomy, they have power to work on their own. क्योंकि उनको powers and responsibilities all are laid down in the act. जब वो अपनी powers exercise कर रहे हैं, वो सिर्फ उतनी ही powers exercise कर रहे हैं which are laid down in the act. They cannot violate those provisions which are laid down in the act. उसके ज़्यादा excess में जाकर they cannot exercise any powers. So they have administrative autonomy. That means they have complete freedom to work in their own administrative matters. So जब freedom मिल जाती है, that means there it leads to quick decisions. अगर आप departmental undertakings के साथ compare करोगे, तो what happens in departmental undertakings? They have to take permission. अगर कोई भी project pass करना है, पहले वो ministers उसको pass करवाएंगे parliament से, then they can start working on it. But here they do not have to take every time the approval of the government. They can take their decisions themselves. Quick decisions. बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स के थ्रू मीटिंग्स में डिसीजन लिया जाता है एंड देन द प्लान कैन बी एग्जीक्यूटेड. Third, their main motive is the service motive. Now, if you see RBI throughout this pandemic also, if you keep a notice, they have kept making new rules and regulations. कहाँ पे उन्होंने कंसेशंस देना है, कैसे बिजनेसमैन या कहाँ उन्होंने एमएसएमईज की हेल्प करनी है, कैसे हेल्प करनी है. दे हैव kept making digital payment के लिए they have released a brochure कि digital payment जब आप करते हो what are the precautions which have to be taken care by the persons. Why do they do that? Because their main motive is service to the nation. You can all search these documents on net. RBI's document in relating to digital payment. And if someone is interested, you can always ask me. Then they have the power to appoint their staff themselves. And they know what type of qualifications. अगर उनको पता है LIC है, statutory corporation या RBI है या SEBI है, they know what are the requirements, what are the qualifications which are required for that person. तो उसके accordingly वो अपना staff appoint करते हैं. So it becomes a efficient staff. The employees are working under their own rules and conditions. उनकी remuneration कितना पैसा, salary कितनी देनी है, क्या perks and allowances देने, everything is fixed by them, right? So they can hire even the professional staff for their help. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think? What can be the demerits now? इतनी जब फ्रीडम है आरबीआई को काम करने की या सेबी को, एलआईसी है, वाटरवेज अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया, हाईवेज अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया है, फूड कॉर्पोरेशन ऑफ इंडिया इज अ स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी. नाउ फॉर दिस आप लोगों ने फर्स्ट डिपार्टमेंटल अंडरटेकिंग का होमवर्क नहीं किया. इंस्टेड ऑफ राइटिंग हाउ समरीता हैज रिटन इट, मेक a chart and then it is more prominently visible that what data you have collected. जब data collect करते हैं आप उसको paragraphs में लिखते हो तो it is not easily accessible. तो उसको chart form में बनाओ please. For this you are finding out the names of listing the statutory bodies. Let me just come out with this. Statutory bodies. How are you doing it? You are going to name the body like RBI, in which year it was enacted and the purpose for which it was enacted. कम से कम there have to be 10 to 15 statutory और उसी के साथ concern में ढूंढना जो आपके जैसे if you're concerned with highways, you have to check it a little. Or if you're interested with SEBI and all, then all these purpose or the objectives for why it was enacted and the year it was enacted. Is it clear with the activity, Evan? Before we take up with the demerits?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Please kar lena. I am very kind to everyone, but whatever work I give, I want that you should learn little more. I can always ask you कि सारा कुछ अपने registers में लिखो, but I know कि you have these books available, you have the PPT available. Comparative studies, they go in registers. But these are extra activities that you must do in your registers. Even MNCs के जितने points हैं, that goes into your registers. Okay. Now, what are the demerits you can think of? What are the demerits? अगर आप
कोई चेक करने वाला नहीं होता उन्हें.
Let's take RBI and LSE. Yes. Yes, Mohit, what were you saying?
मैम उन्हें चेक करने वाला नहीं होता, जैसे कि डिपार्टमेंट अंडरटेकिंग में पार्लियामेंट उन्हें चेक करता है हर बार.
But here also you have to submit the annual report. Annual report RBI की भी जाएगी, SEBI की भी जाएगी. Think of. Now, if you remember, these have been created by an act, by a law. Now these laws, if you here, and there has not been any amendment since last 22 years, and those bodies are working according to these.
आ जाएगा सुबह उठकर क्लास नहीं अटेंड करोगे तो विनोद खत्री आ जाएगा
The times and circumstances. The time and circumstances change, the conditions change. And these laws and enactment, they want a complete change after a few years. Parliament in laws को completely change नहीं कर पाती. So these actually working all on obsolete, sometimes on laws. जो पुराने laws बने हुए हैं उन्हीं के अकॉर्डिंग काम करती जा रही है. जितना ग्लोबल ट्रेंड, ग्लोबल मार्केट आती जा रही है, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली इनको चेंज नहीं किया जा रहा. So this is one of the biggest drawbacks of. Do you agree with this point? See, if
Yes,
if I say the powers, the rules, the objectives for which the law bodies have been created, they are all laid down in the act. कितने employees appoint कर सकते हैं, इनकी remuneration कितनी होगी, this is all laid down in the act. हम क्या वो पुराने 20-20 साल पुराने एक्ट के बने हुए तरीके से ही चलते ही जा रहे हैं. Because the government is not able to make an amendment to those acts after every short period, because there are a number of bodies. 7-8 तो हमने ही discuss कर ली हैं, so they are not able to do it. Food Corporation of India. Now, if you ask these rice millers, are they happy with the rules and regulations which are laid down in Food Corporation of India? They aren't. But system has been made like this, so they continue following.
बच्चों रात को सोओगे नहीं तो काली बाबा आ जाएगा सुबह उठकर क्लास नहीं अटेंड करोगे तो विनोद खत्री आ जाएगा समझे ना
Is it clear, everyone? This point of demerit is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, tell me the second point of demerit. Everyone, think of. You have to think of. Second point of demerit.
मैम एम्प्लॉइज ये लोग खुद लेते हैं तो फिर एम्प्लॉइज का इतना ध्यान नहीं रखते होंगे जैसे उसमें रखते थे डिपार्टमेंट अंडरटेकिंग में.
अगर मैंने सोचना हो तो मैं ये सोचूंगी कि आई एम नॉट गोइंग बाय द बुक, आई एम गोइंग विद व्हाट यू हैव थॉट. अगर मैंने सोचना होगा तो आई विल थिंक ऑफ दैट मे बी दे शो फेवरेटिज्म व्हाइल एट द टाइम ऑफ मेकिंग एन अपॉइंटमेंट, that they will employ those people into their bodies that in whom they are interested, whether they are qualified, whether they are not qualified, or they are professionally expert in that field or not, that will be ignored. So this is what happens in our country. So why don't you take this topic for your research work? Do these statutory corporations show favoritism while employing their employees? Can you take it? And even you will find it at the time of RBI governor, the favoritism was shown. Take this research work activity for your registers as well. Write it down, everyone. Do statutory corporations show favoritism? Yes. Next point. Yes, Utkarsh Bansal, while appointing employees. बुक मत देखो, अपना सोचो कि आपको क्या लगता है. And I always say, जो आप सोचते हो, that is always right. Yes, what else do you think? Be quick, everyone, so that we can finish off the talk today.
मैम उन्हें अपने फंड्स खुद अरेंज करने पड़ते हैं.
No, they get their funds even from the government. ऐसा नहीं है. Yes, they have financial autonomy also, but even government helps them. Whenever they are short of funds, they can always take funds from the government. So this is one plus point here. Yes. Now, if you think again, it is related with the act. When they have been made an independent body, an act has been made, it will lead to corrupt practices, unfair practices by them. There is no check. Only the check which they have is of the annual budget which they have to present in the parliament. Otherwise, in regular dealings, there is no check on their regular workings. So, this is another shortcoming or the limitation of the. Yes, I'm still waiting. So when these all employees are working according to old structure, they have no motivation or no initiative to work. They think that we are working according to the old standards. So there is lack of motivation to work on the part of the employees as well as the board of directors. Board of directors, they are corrupt because they have been made supreme and they have maximum autonomy in their hands. There is a lot of interference from the government side also, because whatever powers have been given to them, that is given on the papers itself. Practically, if you see, there are political parties, there is lobbying, there is popular government officials who keep interfering into the works of these corporations. When even these board of directors have to be appointed, it is the government who generally makes these appointments, although it is written that the process of entire process of how these board of directors will be appointed, that is written in the act, but in practice it is the government who takes these decisions. Now if you might have read it in the newspaper, yeah, कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट, देर आर हाई कोर्ट्स में बहुत ज़्यादा वैकेंसीज हैं. There are a lot of vacancies in the Supreme Court, in the High Courts, and the Supreme Court has laid down कि कैसे you should fill the vacancy. But the government is just prolonging the process because the government wants everything its own way. Because the Supreme Court knows that how the litigation is going to affect them. कि पूरी litigation कितनी ज़्यादा pending हो जाती है अगर we do not have the high court judges. कभी-कभी newspaper पढ़ लिया करो, that will really help to increase your knowledge. So where are these statutory corporations most suitable for? They are suitable when these bodies, they do not want any interference from the government side, or they are very important bodies और उनको independently काम करने की ज़रूरत है, तो उनको एक independently एक body बना दिया जाता है. They need special powers. They cannot work under any ministry, so they are given special powers under the act, so they can work according to their own rules and regulations which are laid down in the act. And they keep getting regular grants from the government, that there is fixed period, that for what period and how much allowances or how much help will be granted to them. See this. They require freedom in their operations. They are even accountable. Where they require special laws, powers as laid down in the act. They require regular grants from the government, and they need independence from the government interference, ताकि वो independently काम कर सके. वहाँ ये सबसे ज़्यादा suitable है. Okay, why don't you come on your book on page number 127 in order to do the activity, the case study. Just read it quickly. With enactment of LIC Act 1956, an autonomous body, Life Insurance Corporation of India, was formed. That is 1956 when enactment passed. The Act defines its powers, duties, and functions. It has a separate legal entity. It is fully owned by government. It has independent financial policy, and it can raise funds by borrowing from public and government. That means, please pay attention to this. When I say it can raise funds by borrowing from public means How can you borrow from public? By issuing shares. LIC is coming up with its IPO, initial public offering. Even RBI can issue its own bonds and debentures. That means they have the power to borrow money from the public as well as the government. However, it is not subject to any budgetary accounting or audit control like railways. Its annual report is presented to Parliament every year. हर साल उनकी annual report जरूर Parliament में present होती है. What type of corporation it will be? Yes, everyone. What type of body it is? Yes, Utkarsh. What type of is Mohit? Are you answering?
मैम पेज नंबर कौन सा है?
It's 127. Page number 127. So the question says, कौन किस तरह की public sector enterprises है? It is a statutory corporation. Now, under what act was it formed? It is LIC Act 1957. If you have to name any other statutory corporation, that is ONGC, FCI, RBI, SEBI, they are all statutory bodies. State two features. So, two features are they are financially independent and they are separate legal entities. Now, I repeat, they have the power to raise funds by borrowing from the public. Please find it out about LIC's IPO. IPO, I repeat, initial public offering. LIC is also coming out with its first time its shares in the stock market. So please find it out regarding that also. So do your research work. That is all for today. We will do government companies tomorrow, and from tomorrow I'm going to send a Zoom link. So please join everyone on time because Zoom 40 minutes के बाद it gets automatically cut off. Thank you everyone. I hope, let me just take your attendance. I'll just call out the names जिनका मैंने mark कर दिया.
Debate is tomorrow, no?
Debate is tomorrow, right?
Ma'am, but I will not able to attend.
Who will not
because
be
I'm
able
going
to attend in? Where are you going, Bhavya?
Saputara. There
Weekend.
is no net.
Weekend celebration.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Give us a feedback.
Trip.
Now, Bhavya, give us a feedback. How is Saputara then? Okay. Naman can leave. Utkarsh Bansal can leave. Devansh Garg. And thank you. Khushi can leave.